Good morning and welcome to The Week in Politics with Michelle Grattan. Professor Michelle Grattan, good morning.
Good morning.
Michelle, some Australian politicians began this week condemning the candidacy of Donald Trump for US President. Does this risk backfiring on them should Trump win in November?
This was, of course, after the video appeared of him saying disgusting and outrageous things about his pursuit of women. So everywhere he was being condemned, including by his fellow Republicans. And Malcolm Turnbull, who'd been quite cautious previously about being drawn into the American contest, was of course critical. Bill Shorten went even further and made a point in a speech he delivered of criticising Trump. He said he was unfit to have the leadership position, to win the leadership position of the Western world. So I think that the feeling among Australian politicians now is, firstly, Donald Trump is such a out there, way out, outrageous candidate that you can't stand on the sidelines about him anymore. And secondly, they feel that an Australian government won't have to deal with him. In other words, they feel that his chances of being elected now are relatively low, so it doesn't carry the risk to intervene in this as it might have if he looked to be a very high chance of winning.
So recently Labor has officially confirmed its opposition to the same-sex marriage plebiscite and there'll be no February vote on the matter. How will this issue evolve for Turnbull now that he can't deliver a plebiscite?
It's a very difficult issue for Malcolm Turnbull. He, of course, is a long-time advocate of changing the marriage law, but he was locked into the plebiscite, which was out of the Tony Abbott regime at the time of getting the leadership. He pledged to some of the Conservatives in his own party that he'd go ahead with it, and of course to the National Party as well. Now he can't deliver it. He's under pressure from Labor and from the same-sex marriage advocates to allow a parliamentary vote and a free vote in the Liberals. But the Liberal Conservatives are making this really a bottom line issue. They will not tolerate a parliamentary vote, a free vote, letting the change to the law go through Parliament, and it would really blow the party up if Malcolm Turnbull did move to that position. So at the moment the issue just simmers away there, and maybe nothing will happen till the next election, and then of course the parties will have to put forward election policies, and it's really pretty untenable for the Liberal Party to go again to a poll with a plebiscite, which has become, although initially popular with the community, more unpopular as time has passed. So it's just one of those real burrs under the saddle for Malcolm Turnbull.
Will Labor suffer any loss of support for not working harder with the government to secure some sort of a compromise on the plebiscite?
Look, I think it'll be under criticism from some who will say, well, Turnbull took the plebiscite to the election, he won the election, albeit narrowly, and he should be able to implement his policy. However, the gay community has very strongly come out saying we shouldn't have a plebiscite, that it would be hurtful, damaging to individuals, a lot of hate speech and so on. So I think that Bill Shorten really, in political terms, is protected by the fact that the community affected says don't have it, or at least a majority say that.
And finally, the Attorney-General George Brandis has come under more criticism over his attempt to change the process by which legal advice can be sought from the Solicitor-General. A former Solicitor-General now says that Brandis's direction is void and of no legal effect. How damaging is this for the Attorney-General?
I think it's quite damaging. The former Solicitor-General, Gavin Griffith, has put in a submission to the Senate inquiry, which is looking at this matter, and he's saying that it's like putting the Solicitor-General as a dog on a lead, which is a quite vivid way of putting it. And he argues with the Brandis position in law. He also says that the best people won't want to apply for the job of Solicitor-General in future, and really makes a quite strong case for another direction, for the old direction to apply, and that is to allow ministers, prime ministers, governors-general to go direct to the Solicitor-General for advice. It's really turned into quite a nasty personal clash. Both men today actually appearing before the Senate committee, and I think that however this works out, and it'll probably work out with the Senate overturning the Brandis direction that everything has to go through him. However it works out, though, it'll be a very difficult relationship between the two into the future, and that's a bad situation between the first and second law officers of the Commonwealth.
Professor Michelle Grattan, thank you.
Thanks very much.
And that's it for the Week in Politics with Michelle Grattan, and we look forward to you joining with us again next week. Thank you.